Here's how to build a signature framework that justifies a $10,000 plus speaking fee. Now, if you want to charge $10,000 or more to speak, like I charge $25,000 per keynote or more to go and speak, your story is not going to get you there, but your framework will. No one is booking you for your story. They're booking you because of what your story can deliver as a message that's a takeaway that's applicable for the audience members. Your story is great, but all it is a delivery mechanism of your message, your solution that the audience needs to hear so they can go do something better that the company who's booking you needs them to do. Now, yes, there are some people that are purely motivational, rare. Right? Nowadays, very rare. And even the motivational speakers have a message that has some kind of takeaway of what you can go and do. But if you just leave it to purely motivation, you will struggle to really grow. It's not that you can't ever be motivational, but you got to have something to pull from this. Now, if you have no idea who I am, my name is Anthony Trucks. I'm a former NFL athlete. I'm a speaker, author, and coach, and founder of Dark Work, where I teach you to do that work in the dark to win in the light. It's really so you can develop a dominator's identity that lives and breathes a simple mentality of, I have done too much work in the dark to lose in the light. So you can create something cool. And that's what I do in the world. Now, today I'm going to show you how to build a signature framework that turns your message into a high value, high paying keynote. Now, why can I teach you this? I'm also the founder of a company called Speak to Freedom, a company that teaches you how to get great at getting on a stage. We also teach you the skill set, but I want you to get great at getting out and giving a speech to use your skill set, right? Because if you want to get booked consistently at the top of the market, you need to offer more than just motivation. You need methodology. My Amazon clients would say you need to have mechanisms, right? There's got to be something you can give and get as an audience member that's not just a cool story they can go and watch on YouTube. You need to be very clear in what you deliver. So I'm going to walk you through 3 separate points to make this clear for you. So the first point is your framework is more important than your stories, right? Stories inspire, frameworks sell. You do need to have a story that's going to be inspirational to get this across the line, like engaging and fun and really something that people love watching. But I'm telling you, if you want to get paid high, you need a framework. They need something that they know when you get done, they're not just having had people watch you and go, amazing, right? But something seeps into their head and to their heart and makes them go, that's how I'm going to be successful ongoing. That's how I'm going to learn something from this person's talk that I can go apply in my real life. Because there's no application of this. Man, people just, all right, cool, but then we move on to the next person. And the next speaker who does have that takes over. And that's you don't want to have is that be somebody else. You want it to be you. So a framework makes your talk powerful, but also here's the other thing it does. It makes it repeatable, right? You can actually go out and give a very similar talk that's just as valuable to the next group. That's not just a brand new keynote tied to just their experiences. When you have something solid, that's what you're trying to get across. Not a story that makes them think you know them. Like you do want to make sure they think you know them, but there's something that they're desiring more, which is a process they can benefit from the time you've taken from them. You've taken an hour of their time. What have you given back? Just a story? I could have watched a Netflix movie for that, right? You need to make sure you're giving them something they can go, I now have notes that I can apply to my life, right? And this also does something really beautiful, which is positions you as an expert, not just a storyteller. See, storytellers are amazing people. They're great. I love storytellers. I believe I am a storyteller. I love telling stories also. But you need people to go, oh no, this person is the expert in this. This person can give me something great that's going to turn into more longevity of what I've got. And when you're an expert, here's the other thing you can do. You can scale beyond the stage. If you have a message, right, that's great. If you have a process that they can actually engage at a deeper level with you in a workshop or in a consulting engagement or some kind of coaching or even a book, well, now what happens is you have this expertise that can allow you to make more revenue because they see other ways that they can get value from you. So you're not now just a speaker or storyteller, you're an expert, and your expertise can be consumed in many different mediums. That's what you got to be focused on. And it also gives your audience something to apply. Planners love that. Like when I get on phone calls with people, they love that there's something I can give their audience they can walk away from this whole speech having in their head and their heart to go and apply so that they can make more sales or be better communicative or meet initiatives faster or even just be happier in the career they're already in. And that's vastly more valuable than just motivation that will dwindle after a while. Now, the second step of this, systems build trust with planners, and planners want predictable outcomes. They don't want to guess and hope you're going to be valuable this time. It's the death nail in your coffin if you go give a speech and somebody comes back and goes, yeah, that person was horrible. Now that planner and that bureau, whatever it is, they do not want to have that happen again. They will find somebody else to replace you, or you better have a really good relationship to get that second bout. But if you do it twice, oh, you're done there. And it doesn't mean that you're not a great speaker. You just didn't pay attention to this piece, right? And why would someone say that you're not, in fact, beneficial or good, right? Because there's no predictability to what you did. And now what happens is your speech may not have landed right because there was just some cool motivation and stories, but no real tangible takeaways, no process. Well, now when they go back, they can't say that you were beneficial, and that person that put you out there can't predict you'll be successful next time. They just have hope. If you have a system and a process and a framework, now they know when you go, that audience gets something from this. They're going to have something to walk away with. They're fairly confident, probably to a 90%, or above, you're going to deliver well. Unless if it's a horrible day and you can't talk to people. If you have the right systems in place, you'll know what to ask, how to ask it, how to infuse it into your keynote, how to deliver that keynote. And now all of a sudden there's this takeaway. So they're selling you. They know you're going to get this. They're going to get what you were talking about or what they sold. And that's a big key piece of it. So making sure you have clarity in your system creates predictability. That predictability makes you bookable. So a framework, it shows that you have a process, not just a passion to go and tell your story. Because then it's all about you. But the process, it's about the client, and that's what the client wants. Now, it also allows them to market you better internally. If you have a company that maybe you're on a roster for a bureau or a meeting planner, well, they can market you better internally in what they're doing if they know what your process is, your steps are. It gives people a sense of confidence and ease knowing you have a system that you talk through. Because they know that you're going to be able to choose the right stories and deliver that to people in the way that makes them feel like you know the audience. They're going to love that. And they actually do feel a peace and an ease and a comfort in having you become the speaker over someone else who's just passionate about it, right? It's easier to market that way. And also it gives your messages legs way beyond the keynote. I've already talked about this, but it gives you the ability to step deeper into a better relationship of coaching, consulting, workshops, whatever you want when you have a process. Now, there are a lot of examples in the world of high fee frameworks, or I say high paid framework sometimes, but I call it a high fee framework because obviously, you can charge a high fee on stage and high fees in consulting. And some of the best paid speakers built careers off a single framework. Now, I've mentioned before, Mel Robbins, 5-second rule, Donald Miller, the story brand. I have what's called the hard method, has been one of my past concepts. I have what's called a dark work experience as well. Mine's also dark work. So all these little things become processes and steps that a company can go, oh, there is something there that's a framework behind the scenes that helps them become valuable. Even for my Speak to Freedom brand, we have the Speak to Freedom formula. It's a 9-step process, but I can talk anybody through it. It lands valuably to a person who needs that information. And to be honest, your framework is your brand system. It's how everything comes to fruition. If you have a message that's a promise, it's how you deliver on said promise. When it's clear, repeatable, and powerful, it earned high fees over and over again. And you want to earn high fees, that's my guess, and it happens in this manner. So you can choose to keep bouncing around and hoping all of a sudden people like you and there's some clarity randomly what you do, or get clear in what you do, the message wise, and then go, here's the steps to deliver that, and get very, very dialed into the step by step of what you do. But also, do not spend all your time first making a framework and then trying to tell people why the framework's amazing. Most people don't care about the framework and why it's amazing. They care about the actual message that's behind it, the message that it's promised, right? This framework just gives them reliability that you will deliver on getting people to the promise of your message. So in this whole thing, you may know how to do this. You also might not know how to do this. A lot of people don't, and that's completely okay. So what I want to do is throw this out there. If you want help with this, go to speaktofreedom.com. The promise is in the name. I'm going to help you speak to a life of freedom. In that company, I teach individuals how to get great at getting on the stage. That's all about this right here, how to build the company, the foundation of business, market yourself, get on stage, look at your performance and improve your performance. All those things you're thinking, I got it dialed in for you. Just head to speaktofreedom.com. And if you don't head there, it's okay. I still love you. Just tune in to the next video. Well, that's it. I'll see you in that next video.